This evening, first sworn in at State House, the five-member Commission of Inquiry into the MV Barima disaster is now official, armed with sweeping mandate to determine what sank the vessel, who failed, and whether the rescue response measured up. For grieving families, the search for answers formally begins. Also, a taxi driver trapped in his mangled car along the Goedverwagting embankment. Firefighters cut him free, but 28-year-old Emanuel Paul was already gone. The truck driver is in custody, and police are once again pleading for caution on the roads. Then, for $1 million, not enough for your business idea, the government says stock it. Pairing development bank loans with commercial financing are pooling with the partners to unlock $30 million ventures. The message to entrepreneurs is start writing those business plans now. Meanwhile, chicken supplies are depleting, demand is surging, and prices could spike. The government is now weighing a request to temporarily import chicken, with the agriculture minister promising any decision will protect both consumers and local farmers. And nearly 1,500 dead and more than 3,300 cases confirmed as the Ebola outbreak in the Congo spirals, with the UN warning the response is falling dangerously behind. Those stories and more coming up. Stay with us. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for July 30th, 2026. I'm Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, the five-member Commission of Inquiry tasked with investigating the sinking of the MV Barima was formally sworn in today at State House, marking a step towards answering the questions that have haunted grieving families since the tragedy struck. Chief Magistrate Judy Lachman administered the oath of office to the commissioners, four of whom were present in person, while one person participated virtually. In brief remarks, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali said the Commission has been handed a sweeping mandate to determine the facts of the sinking, identify its causes, assess compliance with maritime laws, and evaluate the effectiveness of the search and rescue response. The President emphasized the Commission's independence, pointing to the Commissioner's internationally recognized expertise in law, maritime engineering, maritime operations, and disaster investigations. He pledged that the government will provide all administrative, technical, financial, and logistical support necessary for a thorough and independent investigation. The COI was established under the Commission of Inquiry Act to probe the circumstances surrounding the MV Barima's capsizing on the night of July 18, 2026. Of the estimated 179 passengers and crew aboard, 72 bodies were recovered, 30 remain unaccounted for, and 76 were rescued. The Commission is expected to submit its findings, observations, and recommendations to President Ali once its work is complete. On a different note, a 28-year-old taxi driver is dead following an early morning collision between his car and a truck along the Goedverwagting Railway Embankment Road, East Coast, Demerara. The deceased has been identified as Emanuel Paul of Albertown, Georgetown, a driver attached to Reliable Taxi Service. Police say the accident occurred around 1:45 a.m. and involved motorcar PAK 3491, driven by Paul, and motor lorry GAH 1554, driven by a 40-year-old Satrahan Budu of Blackbush Polder, Quarantine Berbice. The lorry was traveling west along the southern carriageway of the railway embankment road when Paul's car, heading north from the Goedverwagting access road, allegedly failed to stop at the approach and moved into the lorry's path. The force of the collision left Paul trapped inside his heavily damaged vehicle. Firefighters had to cut him free, but he was already unresponsive by the time they reached him. Emergency medical technicians arrived and pronounced him dead at the scene after he sustained multiple injuries to his body. His body was transported to the Memorial Gardens mortuary, where it awaits a post-mortem examination. The truck driver was taken into police custody and is assisting with investigations. Drivers are warned to exercise extreme caution on the roadways. Moving on, entrepreneurs with projects exceeding the Ghana Development Bank's $3 million loan cap need not be discouraged, according to Minister of Public Services, Government Efficiency and Implementation Zulfikar Ali, who revealed the bank is partnering with commercial banks to unlock additional financing for larger ventures. Ali said persons with strong, bankable business ideas shouldn't view the $3 million limit as a barrier. He explained that an entrepreneur could combine $3 million from the development bank with an additional $7 million from commercial banks to fund a $10 million project. However, he cautioned that commercial bank financing may come with interest and collateral requirements depending on the loan amount and lending institution. In some cases, the $3 million secured from the development bank could even serve as part of the security for that additional commercial financing. Ali said discussions with commercial banks are ongoing, with plans to create a seamless, digitally accessible process allowing borrowers to monitor disbursements and repayments via mobile devices. The minister also encouraged entrepreneurs to consider forming partnerships or consortiums for larger projects, citing an example of 10 people each accessing $3 million in zero interest, zero collateral financing to pool $30 million for ventures like tourism villa or manufacturing plants. The government would help such groups establish bylaws and governance structures, though each member would remain individually responsible for their own loan. Ali said the bank is designed to simplify access to financing for young people, women, single mothers, and persons with disabilities while maintaining transparency and accountability. He urged prospective entrepreneurs to begin drafting business plans ahead of the bank's rollout. The National Assembly recently passed the legal framework for the development bank, and the government is now working to establish regional offices and hire staff. Stick around when we return. Chicken shortage sparks urgent talks as producers push government for import lifeline, and 2 firearm-related busts in 24 hours as police crack down on illegal weapons.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. As chicken production dips and demand surges, the government is weighing a request to temporarily import chicken to plug the growing supply gap, with Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa promising that any decisions will balance the needs of consumers, producers, and the industry's future. The matter came up Tuesday when Mustafa met with representatives of the Ghana Poultry Producers Association at his office to review current developments and challenges facing the local poultry sector. During the meeting, GPPA representatives pointed to recent market trends showing declining local production alongside rising consumer demand, prompting the association to formally request government's assistance to facilitate temporary chicken imports to address the shortfall. According to the GPPA, allowing imports could help prevent significant price spikes during the period of reduced local supply by supplementing what's available and keeping the market stable. The representatives were careful to frame the request as a short-term fix, stressing that continued importation would not be necessary once local production rebounds to normal levels. Minister Mustafa said the government would carefully assess the request before making a final call, noting that any decision must serve consumers' interests while also accounting for the needs of local producers and the long-term sustainability of Ghana's poultry industry. The engagement forms part of the Agriculture Ministry's ongoing efforts to monitor the sector and respond to challenges that could affect production, consumer access, and market prices. Moving on, guns, bullets, and a spent shell. Georgetown streets yield a dangerous haul as police net 3 suspects in back-to-back busts. Police made 2 separate weapons discoveries within a single day and 3 arrests as authorities continue cracking down on illegal firearm and ammunition in Georgetown. In the first incident, police recovered a 9mm pistol and 19 rounds of ammunition during an operation at Independence Boulevard on Wednesday, July 29th. Acting on information received, ranks searched the bar and found the pistol and the ammunition lying on the ground along the southern wall of the premises. 2 men present at the bar, 33-year-old construction worker of Alexander Village, Georgetown, and a 41-year-old construction worker of Providence, East Bank, Demerara, were arrested and taken to the Ramsville police station along with the firearm and ammunition, which were lodged as evidence. In a second incident, just hours later, police uncovered ammunition and a spent shell during an operation on Mandela Avenue in the early hours of Thursday, July 30th, around 1 a.m. Ranks stopped and searched a Toyota Hilux driven by a 31-year-old project manager of La Parfait Harmony, West Bank, Demerara, discovering a round of ammunition and 1 spent shell inside the vehicle's glove compartment. The driver was arrested and escorted to the East La Penitence police station along with the evidence which was lodged. He remains in custody as investigations continue. Still going after the break, Russia charges Telegram founder. Moscow accuses the ROV of aiding terrorist activities. And FIFA's World Cup sell-off. European Association meeting to plan response.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Good evening, I'm Dominic Gittins tonight. Bahamas intercepts 54 Haitian migrants and seizes drugs in back-to-back operations. Congo's Ebola outbreak outpaces the response. Russia issue an arrest warrant for Telegram's founder on terrorism charges. And UEFA calls an emergency meeting to fight FIFA's World Cup sell-off plans. We will begin in the Caribbean where Bahamian authorities have detained 54 Haitian migrants, including a 3-year-old child, and seized suspected cocaine and marijuana after intercepting a vessel in the Exumus. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force acted on intelligence provided by its U.S. partners. In a separate operation, authorities also seized 97 bales of suspected marijuana valued at nearly $6 million and arrested 3 Bahamian men. The Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo is spreading rapidly, with the United Nations warning the response is falling behind. Al Jazeera's Axel Zaimovic reports.
It's now claiming more lives faster than any Ebola outbreak. More than 50 people have died in the Democratic Republic of Congo in the last 24 hours alone, and the number of cases is now doubling roughly every 20 days. In just 2 months, 1,000 people have lost their lives, a pace that took 8 months to reach during the West Africa outbreak a decade ago. Most of those who lost their lives to the virus did not die in hospitals, but quietly at home. The burden of care falls to mothers, wives, and daughters. And it's often those same women who become infected next, caring for the people they love. The burials go under strict medical protocol, a small routine of dignity at the time of crisis. The virus is not the only threat closing in on this region. The UN says nearly 10 million people in eastern Congo are now going hungry, caught between the fear of infection and the need to feed their families. Experts say vaccines exist. The strategies to contain this outbreak exist too. What's missing is speed and enough funding to scale up the response before the virus outpaces it completely. Axel Zaimovic, Al Jazeera.
Russian authorities have issued an international arrest warrant for Telegram founder Pavel Durov. He has been charged with aiding terrorism. Al Jazeera's Yulia Shapovalova reports.
One of Russia's most popular messaging apps, Telegram, has been restricted since last summer. Now the Russian security services have accused Telegram founder Pavel Durov of aiding terrorism, and it's issued an international warrant for his arrest. The Russian authorities claimed Ukrainian intelligence agencies used Divinchik, a dating bot on Telegram, to recruit teens to carry out acts of sabotage in Russia. They say that led to casualties and billions of dollars in damage. Telegram is a vital communication platform in Russia, reaching up to 90 million domestic users. That makes it a leading source of daily news and public discussion. During the war, it's become a crucial source for emergency alerts and other updates, and it reportedly also serves as an informal military coordination tool on the battlefield. Telegram is popular with independent media outlets and journalists, in part because it has so many users, but Russia's state agencies, some officials and pro-war military bloggers have also developed their own channels on the app, so the Kremlin both relies on it as a public forum and tries to restrict it, instead pushing a state-controlled messenger called Max. But unlike Max, Telegram offers encryption and privacy features, and some people on the streets of Moscow say they still prefer to use the app with the help of a VPN.
Telegram is a very convenient platform. I use it for both work and personal life. It's a shame because people are being deprived of the right to choose. Restricting people's freedoms only makes them angry.
There aren't really any alternatives to Telegram. I have nothing against other platforms, but Telegram is simply more convenient. It's a good anonymous messenger. Crimes can be committed via email and other messaging apps too.
In 2024, Durov was detained in France, accused of complicity in drug trafficking and cybercrimes. Back then, Russian media and officials called it an attack on freedom of speech and said France was targeting Telegram. Now, Russia's latest move against Durov came just 2 days after the Kremlin's press secretary said Moscow had been in contact with Telegram to discuss potentially unblocking the service. Critics say that reflects an internal struggle within the Russian government over whether to grant the app more freedom or block its use completely. Yulia Shapovalova, Al Jazeera, Moscow.
European football's governing body is leading global opposition to FIFA's plan to sell its stakes in the World Cup. UEFA says a line has been crossed and has convened an emergency meeting. Al Jazeera's Andy Richardson reports.
The starting gun has been fired on a plan to sell off parts of the World Cup. FIFA boss Gianni Infantino has given member associations until mid-September to back the move or risk losing out on a multi-million-dollar payment.
It is an opportunity, but not an obligation. Too little of football's growing commercial value reaches the parts of the game that need it most. Capturing that value requires additional expertise, additional insight.
The FIFA Forward enterprise is being valued at around $20 billion. It will be in charge of FIFA's commercial rights and major tournaments. It's hoped private investors will contribute more than $4 billion. FIFA says it will help generate $10 billion for football development funding over the next 4 years. Under the plan, associations will receive an initial $40 million to grow the game, but many countries say they were informed rather than consulted. Critics fear fans will be forgotten and commercial rather than sporting imperatives will dictate any future plans to expand or hold more regular World Cups.
The World Cup belongs to the fans, to the people, to all the people of the world. It's a truly beautiful moment, I think. I hope that neither FIFA nor anyone else ruins this celebration for the whole world.
The Asian, North and Central American and European confederations have all issued statements voicing concern. Europe's governing body UEFA has accused FIFA of using the sport to enrich themselves and their friends.
At the moment, I feel that FIFA exists solely to make profit. It's just about making money through all possible avenues. And to be honest, it disgusts me.
But some European leagues, including those in Spain and France, have already welcomed private equity. And FIFA says unlocking more money will give smaller footballing nations a better chance of appearing and excelling at future World Cups. Andy Richardson, Al Jazeera.
Thanks, Dominique. This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-minute forecast. And that's it to be 2 headline news for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other.